Okay, real talk for a second. You know how authenticity is everywhere right now? It's on coffee mugs, Instagram quotes. We see it in leadership seminars. It's causing us all to pause and assess ourselves. Here's a question that I keep getting asked, and maybe you've asked it too. How do I actually know if I'm living authentically? And honestly, the even bigger question hiding behind that one is, how do I know when I'm not? So today, let's pour some coffee or go grab your favorite glass of grapes and get honest about what authenticity looks like, what it feels like, and how to tell when you've slowly drifted away from who you really are without even realizing it. Welcome to the Lead with Spark podcast, the show where real women lead with authenticity, show up with presence, and live out their purpose. I'm Lynsey Mulder, speaker, C-suite executive, family gal, travel junkie, and a firm believer that your leadership starts from within. Around here, we go beyond the fluff. We talk about the real stuff no one teaches you in leadership training. Your values, your superpower strengths, boundaries to stop burnout, and how to quit being the chaos coordinator of your own life. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, or just trying to stop feeling stuck in the daily grind, this is your space to get clear, get aligned, and finally lead with confidence. So let's cut the noise and reconnect with the spark that makes you, you. Let's go get our spark on. You know what's wild? Most of us don't make some dramatic, intentional decision to stop being ourselves. It doesn't happen like that. It's a lot more subtle, especially for women. I mean, we're natural nurturers. We're out here caring for our kids, taking care of their every need day after day. We're holding space for our teams, and our team members are bringing both their home life and their work life, and we're nurturing them. We're calling our parents and our friends and checking in. We're keeping everything running in our life at work and at home. We do such a great job shining light on other people that sometimes our own light starts to fade without us even noticing it. It's not dramatic, like this huge impact that happens all at one time. It's quiet. It's in the little trade-offs that we make. When we make a decision like, oh yeah, sure, I'll say yes to that, even though I know I'm completely maxed out. Or, oh yes, absolutely, I'll tone down in the meetings because I don't want to come off too strong. Or when we mentally think, I'll get back to that dream when things settle down and my calendar's not quite so crazy. I'm not saying these are the wrong choices. They're actually very human choices to make, especially in our society right now. But over time, piece by piece, we drift away. And then one day, all of a sudden, we pause and we wonder, wait, when did I stop feeling like me? Or I'm doing everything that I should be doing, so why do I feel like something's missing? This isn't just a personal moment, it's also a leadership moment. Because when you're out of alignment, you're not leading with presence. You're not leading with authenticity. You're leading from a script. And it's not your script. It's somebody else's script. You figure out that you're on autopilot. You're burnt out. You're exhausted. And honestly, you're not sure even how to get back to your true self. I've been there. I was in a leadership role that it looked great from the outside. But inside, I felt boxed in. I had to play the part of what a successful leader was supposed to look like at my company. What I had to act like, what I had to dress like, what I had to sound like. I remember the exact feeling. It was this ache in my gut that I couldn't shake. My body knew it before my brain did, and I just kept telling my friends, I feel like there's something more. I feel like I'm supposed to do something more. This can't be everything in my life. I wasn't failing. I was actually in a great role. I had an amazing team. I was doing great things. I just was disappearing. I'd conformed to the work the way that my company expected. And that's honestly when it hit me. Authenticity isn't a bonus. It's a lifeline. It's a lifeline that I had to grab onto and hold on to tight, and I hope you grab onto it as well. I do want to make it clear, just friend to friend, authenticity is not about being raw or being messy or having to be brutally honest 24/7. It doesn't mean that you walk into a meeting and just start oversharing and spilling your guts, or that when you're being reactive and rude that you can just say something like, "Hey, I'm just being real," and get by with it. Authenticity is not this badge that you earn one time and then never think about again. Authenticity is really about congruence. When the outside you matches the inside you. It's when your life lines up with your values. It's when you're the same person in every role of your life, with every hat that you wear. It's not about perfection or polish. It's honestly just about truth and the real you and getting back to who that person is, the person that you were created to be. Okay, quick pause, because if any of this is hitting close to home, I want you to know this: you're not alone. I work with women like you who are ready to come back to themselves. They're tired of performing and ready to come from a place of real confidence, alignment, and peace. I call it leading with spark. If that sounds like something that you're craving and you're ready to do the work, the powerful work, then go to my website and schedule a free coaching session. I'll put the link for you down below so it's easy to find. I want to tell you about one of my clients. I'm just going to call her Sarah. On paper, she had it all. She was leading a big team. She was checking all the boxes, climbing the ladders. From the outside, she looked like her life was fantastic. But when she sat across from me in our very first sessions, she said something I'll never forget. "I just don't feel like me anymore." She'd started second guessing herself. She stopped speaking up the way that she used to. She was making choices that simply didn't align with her gut, just to keep peace and avoid conflict. Through our work together, she realized something big. She had traded authenticity for acceptability. Bit by bit, she had become someone she didn't choose. Have you done that? Traded authenticity for something else in your life? The moment that Sarah reconnected with her values, when we identified her non-negotiables and she started showing up as her whole self again, her spark came back and she lit up. Let me tell you what happened. Her team noticed, her leader noticed, her confidence returned, her presence completely shifted. But most importantly, she told me that she felt like herself again. That's the power of authenticity. It changes how you feel in your own skin, and it changes how other people see you. It allows you to start creating that positive ripple effect to everybody around you. And most importantly, you get back to your true self. Because when you're living authentically, you feel it too. And it's incredible. You start making decisions that align with your values, your core truths. You start saying yes to the right things, and you feel zero guilt when you say no to the wrong ones. Those things that are not the priorities in your life, but you do it just because. You use your superpowers every day without watering them down to fit in. You can't wait to put those strengths into practice. Your energy rises instead of draining. Your motivation returns, and not from pressure, but from passion. And you fall in love with who you are. Not the should version, but the real version. It doesn't mean that life gets easy, but it gets clearer, stronger, more honest, more you. Here's something I want you to hear loud and clear. If you have lost touch with your authentic self, that doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you're human. We don't drift away from authenticity because we're weak or we're broken. We drift because we're constantly bombarded with expectations, especially as women in leadership. Be bold, but not too bold. Be direct, but still likable. Lead like a man, but make sure that you nurture like a woman. It's exhausting. And over time, we start making those little adjustments. We shrink just a little. We hesitate a little bit more. We question ourselves instead of trusting our gut. But the good news is you can come back to yourself. You don't need a massive life overhaul. You just need to start with one true thing. Maybe that's say no when you usually say yes. Maybe it's using your real voice in the next meeting. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes about what you want and not what everyone else needs from you. Little by little, you reclaim your alignment. And little by little, you stop asking for permission to be yourself. So maybe you're wondering, okay, how do I know if I'm living in alignment? Here's 5 places that I would ask you to really hone in on. The first is your decisions. Are they grounded in your values or are they fear-based? The second is your calendar. Does it reflect your true priorities or just your obligations? And trust me, sometimes that list can get really long. The third is your voice. Are you speaking up freely or are you constantly filtering yourself, afraid to speak up with what you know you should be saying? The fourth, your energy. After big conversations or big meetings, are you lit up or are you completely drained because your energy is focused elsewhere? And lastly, your environment. Are you surrounded by people who invite your real self, who want to know who you truly are? Or do you feel like you're always expected to perform? If even one of those made your stomach flip, stop and listen to it. That's your inner compass trying to get your attention. And hey, if you want a little help checking in, I made a free tool called the Authenticity Self-Check. It's a short quiz and reflection guide that you can use for yourself, or you can even bring it into your next one-on-ones and ask your team member to fill it out. This shows them that you want them to authentically show up at work. When you do that, all the benefits that you receive yourself, they're going to get also. You're going to get more productivity, more energy, and more motivation out of your team members when you're allowing them to focus in on who they truly are. I'll stick it in the resource links down below so that you can easily grab it. Now let's wrap this up. Authenticity isn't some leadership strategy. It's not a vibe, it's a choice. And it's one that you're going to make over and over again every single day. Give yourself permission to stop performing, to stop conforming, to stop playing by someone else's rule book. You don't have to be more polished or more perfect or more like them. You get to intentionally choose how to be more like you. And that, my friend, is more than enough. Because I know the authentic you is amazing. Your values, your superpowers, and your non-negotiables are not like anyone else's on this planet. You're completely, uniquely you. So bring that authentic self forward and let your spark shine. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for being here and for doing the work to lead yourself first. If this episode sparked something for you, take a second to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another woman who's ready to own her leadership. And remember, the way you lead your life is the way you lead everything else. If you or your organization are looking for a speaker, an impactful workshop, or an executive coach, head over to lynseymoulder.com and let's connect. Keep showing up. Keep leading with spark. You got this. I'll see you next time.